What's up YouTube, it's Vertix here, bringing you guys another gameplay commentary today, and this is going to be a domination match on the map K.E.M, and it's going to be a public match gameplay, of course. This is not a competitive map, so obviously this is going to be a public match. And in this gameplay, I want to talk to you guys about how you can go about increasing your kill-death ratio. Now, my kill-death ratio is by no means super high. It is not 3 or 4, something crazy like that. It's simply a 2 KD, but I don't really play too much for my kill-death ratio. I just simply get kills, and I get more kills than deaths while playing the objective normally. So, I don't really play for my kill-death ratio. If you want to play for your kill-death ratio will probably, I just said kill-death ratio like 5 times in like 20 seconds. Yeah, sorry about that. But if you do want to play for your KD, it'll probably be much higher than mine. So, still, you can use these tips, but if you want to play specifically for your kill-death ratio, not play the objective as much. Not that I'm telling you to do that if any of you are super, like, objective-based, like the win is what matters, because I'm right there with you. Like, I play competitive, so I know that the win is what matters over all other things. So, don't think that I'm telling anyone else or yourself to simply play for a high kill-death ratio. Now, let's get into the tips here. Now, the first tip is going to be you need to look at your classes. If you have a class that you're comfortable with, don't look at your classes. If you do well with your classes already and you may just need a few little tips to just boost your KD just a little bit more, I will give those later, but if you want some tips on your classes, I will leave a link in the description to my own public match classes, and there should be an annotation on screen unless I forget to put it there. But if I do remember to put the annotation on screen, there will be one on your screen right now, and it'll just link you guys to my public match classes so that you can get a feel for what I personally choose to use, what I do well with in my public match gameplays. Now, in this gameplay, I go 37-3, so it's a pretty good gameplay to bring you guys on this topic. Just a few things, getting back to the custom class setups, basically. The things that I would say are the most important are, number one, a silencer. I don't usually use a silencer in all my gameplays because I don't go for super high kill-death ratio gameplays all the time. But this was just one of those where I did have a silencer and I did get a good gameplay. So I would suggest a silencer if you're not, I don't want to call you bad, but if you're not like super aware of what's going on around you, meaning like you don't know where people are going to be pushing from, silencer is really going to help you so that people don't catch on to where you're at and just rush you all over. Now, I've gotten pretty used to, with the, 3-4 years I've played Call of Duty now, I just know, like, whenever I shoot a non-silence gun, I know people are going to be pushing me, and I usually just pre-aim wherever they're coming from. Using a non-silence gun usually helps me get more kills. But that's just me. So that was just the, well, actually, let's go into 2 perks. Amplify is a very big perk. It allows you to hear where people are coming from, obviously, so that's a very useful perk if you want to increase your kill-death ratio. And also, Dead Silence will... The main reason I use Dead Silence in pubs is not to make sure people don't hear my footsteps, it's so that I don't hear my own footsteps, which just allows me to sound more better with Amplify. Now, the second tip is going to be your kill streaks. You want to use kill streaks that are going to allow you to get a lot of kills. Obviously, that's what kill streaks, that's what it implies in the name. It also implies that you have to get a lot of kills in streak, but we're not going to forget about that. It's for kills. And you want to use kill streaks, obviously, that are going to help you get more kills, and you're not going to die in them. So, as you see in this gameplay, I'm using the Juggernaut Maniac. That's not a streak that you really want to be using when you want a high kill-death ratio, because when you're in the Juggernaut Maniac, you're guaranteed to get a death. The only reason I'm using it in this gameplay is because I don't know if you can see I don't know if I pull the scoreboard up. Actually, I don't even think it shows your rank in the scoreboard anymore, but I think you might see at the end of the game, I'm quite a low level at this point. I'm not even prestiged yet. So, at this point in the game, I wasn't really worried about my KD too much. I knew it was going to be at least a 2. I was really mad when I died right there. I knew it was going to be at least a 2, and I wasn't really worrying about my streaks. But streaks that I would greatly consider if you want a high kill-death ratio is going to be the Guard Dog. The Guard Dog, obviously, is going to do you wonders because it's going to save your life, which is going to save your kill-death ratio. The death part of it is going to be lower, meaning the ratio itself is going to be higher. And it's also going to get you kills, so it'll actually help you in both categories. The next kill streak I would recommend would just be your personal preference. preference, whether it be the Helo pilot like I have in this game, or the low-key, which I personally don't like either of them. And I'll get into what I personally use for all my classes now in a second, but I'm just talking about Assault right now. I'm not going to go over support because I really haven't even used support, so I can't tell you. And then your kill streak in the middle of your guard dog and your high kill streak that the two I just chose for you guys, not chose for you guys, but suggested for you guys. I don't really know what you could personally use there. That's why I have the Maniac there. I guess you could use both the Helo and the Loki if you wanted to, but a SATCOM could be useful just because it's going to allow you to see where people are coming from. And if you get enough on the map, it'll turn into an advanced UAV, and that's always useful as well. So those are my kill streak, my assault score streak, whatever you want to call them, suggestions. Personally, I choose to use Specialist. I think having a bunch of perks and turning into a super soldier is just the best way to go about it. That's what I did in MW3, although it's a lot more difficult to get your Specialist bonus in this game, and it's a lot less beneficial, considering in MW3 you got all the perks at 8 kills. In this game, you get a select few perks at a possible 15, depending on what perks you put in your first 3 Specialist bonus kills, or streaks. So it's not as beneficial to put that on, but I still feel like it's the best thing to have at least, like, what, 7 perks? Maybe even, like, 8 or 9, depending on what you choose. I think that's more beneficial than this crappy kill streak that's barely going to get me any kills. Personally, that's what I choose to go for now. In this gameplay, I didn't, obviously, as I said earlier, it was at the beginning of the game, and I didn't have as much of a grasp on it yet. But now that I've played it a lot more, I have switched over to Specialist, and I like that a lot better for pubs. Thirdly, you want to put yourself in an advantageous position to get kills. You don't want to be running around the map all the time, unless it's like... Unless you're playing against people that aren't very good, that you can just run around and slay your butt off and just get a ton of kills and never die because you know you're going to outgun everyone. Like Strike Zone, for example, or maybe even Freight. Those are 2 maps that you could run around with a submachine gun on and destroy on. But there's a lot of maps, especially a map like this. As you saw in the beginning, I was just holding down that left side of the map. They try to run up the ramp, and I would just slay them down, and I went on a 20 kill streak like that. So, well, not like that. I eventually started running around because people stopped pushing it. So... originally, I was just sitting there in a high traffic area, making sure I was in cover enough to not die, but also making sure I was in an area that was that had enough people coming to it for me to get a lot of kills. And I feel like that's very important. If you're not getting a lot of kills and you're just getting a small amount of deaths, that's not really helping your kill-death ratio too much. It's not hurting it, but it's also not helping it. So if you already have a good KD, I guess you could do that. But if you really want to improve your KD and push for a higher KD, push for like a 2.5. If you're only at like a 1, push for a 2. It may be difficult depending on how many deaths you already have. But if you want to push your KD really hard, you're not going to be able to do it by just not dying a lot. You're going to have to get a lot of kills too. And the last tip is just going to be to play a lot. Practice, practice, practice. You're going to be able to get a lot better at the game, get a lot more kills, and you're eventually going to be able to stay alive a lot longer and win gunfights and things of that nature. Is going to allow you to not die as much and get more kills, which is all going to add up to increase your kill-death ratio. But that's all I got to say for today, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I want to ask you guys something. Leave me a comment below on what type of series you'd like to see me do. I want to do a series on the channel just to keep you guys entertained on a week or on a day-to-day basis. But thanks for watching, guys. Remember to leave that comment below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, be sure to subscribe. Peace.